Oh, hello everybody.
The next lesson is the 21. The homework 21 is we're still working on factoring special binomials. So far we learned is number one was the difference of squares, which is a squared minus b squared equals a plus b times minus a plus b times a minus b. Number two, we did last couple of days, the sum of the cubes, which is a cube plus b cube is equal to, is it always going to be binomial times trinomial? Well, how you remember this? We need to find the first and the second base. Well, then it's going to be first base plus the second. Well, then the square of the first minus, remember there is a plus here, minus here. Well, then multiply both, and the last term is square of the second base. So now here is the factoring the difference of squares. So keep in mind, so last time we did was the sum, now it is the difference. So here's the formula we have. A cube minus b cube. So look, last time was the a cube plus b cube. So now it's still going to be binomial times trinomial. So then we need to find the first base and the second. How do you find the base? You take the cube root. So here's the first base minus second. So look, here's the plus, here's the minus here. So basically these sign switches, that's it. Everything else is same. Well, then this plus becomes minus and this minus becomes plus. Everything else is exactly the same. So a cube minus b cube is a minus b. So your binomial has minus, or everything else, the trinomial, every single term is positive. So the square the first base plus multiply both bases plus square the second base. So here is a quick example. I can show you a couple of examples. So here is a factor. Let's say we have y cube minus 8. It's very similar. Most of you did great last worksheet, so it's very similar. So now the trick is first find the first base. So the first base is a. So for the first base is y. What is the second base? Which is, what is the cube root of 8? So you can also write this way too. Y cube minus 2 cube. So the second base is 2. So now make sure you remember this formula. Or for now you can just write it down. So replace the first base a with y and b with 2. So then the answer is going to be, so the answer is y minus 2, that's a minus b, times, there's a trinomial here. So the square, the first, y square plus, and multiply these two. AB mean is multiply 2 times y. So 2 times y. B squared is b equals 2. So 2 squared is 4. And that's the answer. So very similar, but make sure only difference here is we're finding the bases exactly the same way. But the only difference here is we're switching positive with a negative and negative with a positive. It's still going to be binomial times trinomial. Let me show you a couple of more examples. Here is, for example, we have a factor. Let's see, we have 2y, or we could use x this time. So it is the 2x cubed minus 54. Well, now, it looks like it's the difference of the cube, but is 2 is a perfect cube? No. So this means we cannot apply the formula yet. So your homework does not have anything like this. So we can maybe do next one more homework when you have to take GCF out first. So if you cannot, then you always take GCF out. What GCF here is 2. Then here is the x cubed. What is the 54 divided by 2? It is 27. So now look, after you took 2 out, it becomes a cubed minus b cubed, which is x cubed minus 3 cubed. 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. So now the first base, a is x, the b, the second base is 3. So now, carefully, this 2 going to be part of the answer, and then replace a with x and b with 3. So the answer is going to be 2 will stay as is, GCF is going to stay. So x minus 3 times x squared, the square of the first base, and plus multiply both 3x plus 3 squared is 9. So that's it. So this one something happens. So you see look like it's cube. Well then if you cannot apply the special case, well then you have to take GCF. Then we'll see. I mean sometime when you take GCF out, you can apply a squared minus b squared, and sometime it is a cube plus b cube, and sometime it is a cube minus b cube. And if it's still you cannot apply special case, well maybe that's the only step you can take. So GCF is always first. So remember, if you cannot do it as is, GCF is always your backup. Let me show you one more example. So here is again, make sure you remember this. A cube minus b cube is a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. So here is one more example. So the factor. Let's go here, 64 minus 8x cubed. So 64 minus 8x cubed. So now in this case we have a GCF. So make sure take GCF out first. So here is the 8 is coming out. What is the 8 times 8 is 64, or 64 divided by 8 minus x cubed. Make sure take GCF out first, because otherwise it will not, your answer will not be a factor form. So then people they forget all the time. So make sure GCF first. Any factoring approach, GCF first. So now look, 8 is perfect cube, yes, 2 cube, and x is cube already. So now make sure keep the same order, left, right. So the first base, so a is the first base, which is 2, and b is the second base, which is the x. So now you can just go 8, so then use the formula. So first base minus second, keep the order, 2 minus x. Well then the square, the first base, which is 4, plus, everything is plus here, keep in mind, do not mix up the signs. Well then multiply to both bases, the 2 times x. And then last one is the square, the second base, b squared is, so b is x, so the x squared. So that's the answer. Look, there's no GCF here, there's no GCF here. This means it's completely factored. If you do not take this out in the beginning, you have to take it at the end. That's not the smart way to do it. So make sure, look for the GCF first, then you move on to a cube minus b cube in this case. Okay, so your homework has like 10 problems. Make sure you do all. Let me know if somebody needs help. Most of you are doing great. But try to memorize those formulas, because we're not going to be staying home, forever. So when you take a test in the class, they're going to ask you to remember those formulas. So that's your last one. So maybe next homework we can just we can have like a comprehensive review. Like we can mix up all those in one, like 1, 2, 3. So do the homework. Then I'll hope to see you soon. Thank you.